Adversaries come in many forms, but you will be victorious when you realize that worship is warfare.
Adversaries are necessary because without them, you never really discover your purpose.
We've accepted what somebody told us we were in our past. So our past is sabotaging our ability to hear instruction.
We are not much unlike a battery. The negative is the thing that's needed to produce the power.
I empowered you to overcome everything you've overcome up to this present moment. I fixed you for what's going to happen after this.
You were in the mind of God long before you were ever born.
You are not alone in your battle. God has your back because worship is warfare. Put these 4 messages in your arsenal today on CD or DVD. Equip yourself by visiting our website or by calling 1-800-591-8480.
It's now easier than ever to stay connected with David G. Evans and the Bethany Baptist Church family. Follow the ministry and rejoice in all that God is doing by following us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. On Facebook, you'll be up to date on the latest happenings. You can watch our Sunday services on Facebook Live, 8 and 11 a.m. Eastern.
Here comes the power. Hallelujah.
Words of wisdom and encouragement can be found on Twitter, and you'll get up to the minute sermon points as they happen in our weekly worship services. Follow us on Instagram and be blessed by the inspirational and special moments that are highlighted each week, and meet the people who are the heart of our ministry. And if it's video you want, subscribe to the Bethany Baptist Church channel on YouTube. See the celebrations, the special events, and the many, many people who are helping to transform lives one at a time. Stay connected with David G. Evans on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, and become a member of our broadcast family today.
What if you could make one decision to unleash everything great in your life? Would you do it? Would you say yes? Aren't you tired of your relationships, your health, and so much more suffering because you lack the truth you need to change? The life you desire is within your reach. You can achieve all the success, happiness, and prosperity you deserve by simply learning the secrets that lead to real personal transformation. Change is hard, but not impossible. You just have to make one radical decision to get real. And there's no better authority on the real steps to change than David G. Evans.
Some men trust in chariots. Some men trust in horses. But we will trust in the Lord.
David G. Evans is leading the charge to bring you the power to change your life. He is committed to the mission of helping you transform and become a person of power, and it starts with his all-new system to change your situation. At the centerpiece of this life-altering collection is David Evans' groundbreaking training course. From ridiculous to radical to real, this means war. In this series, you will discover the steps to change. This series includes 2 powerful messages, each on winning the battle in your mind and cultivating a language of faith. That's 4 messages, 4 power-filled hours of material. If you want a better marriage, this series has the answers. If you want to achieve financial independence God's way, the secrets in this series will empower you to make it happen. If you want a life of power, anointing, and influence, this series will show you how to get it, and there's more. You're looking for serious, immediate results. So Bishop Evans will also include one of his best-selling messages called Weapon of Warfare. This classic teaching will build you up to start fighting in the spirit for what you deserve. This powerhouse collection, from ridiculous to radical to real, and Weapon of Warfare, will give you all the biblical strategies you need to change anything in your life. This collection will ship to you immediately with your gift today to David G. Evans Ministries. This ministry is revolutionizing the kingdom by empowering believers. Souls are being saved daily, and we need your help to grow this impact in a real way. Call now and sow your seed of just $35 for your transformation to help people around the world. Your $35 love gift goes straight to the front lines of ministry, providing help to those that need it most. Call now. Make the decision to get the power you need to change your life forever.
Position yourself to receive from God with Bishop David G. Evans teaching When Men Pray.
Have there been times when you have asked someone to pray for you and the prayer has not been answered? Because instead of praying for yourself, you waited until someone else that you thought had more power would pray for you. Prayer is something that you resort to immediately and not as a last resort. You need to learn how to pray preemptively. You need how to pray ahead of time. Don't always be praying in response. Pray proactively. Pray before it happens. Lord, cover my child. Lord, bless my day.
Develop your relationship with God with this dynamic teaching on CD or DVD when you write to us. Visit our website or call 1-800-591-8480.
Well, praise the Lord, everybody. Welcome to On Point, the #1 Saturday morning Christian-based call-in talk show in America, live every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. on any smart device at David G. Evans, the #1, at David G. Evans 1. You can give us a call. We'd love to talk to you today. Our phone number, toll-free, anywhere in the world, is 866-743-8267, 866-743-8267. Why don't you like and subscribe and share and hit that notification button that every time we are on, you'll know it and you don't miss one important program that the Lord has allowed us to present to you each Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Once again, our phone number, 866-743-8267. Of course, as always, you can't do anything of significance by yourself in life, so the world-famous Reverend Nicholas Smith is here with us once again in his bright orange hoodie today. He's
felt very colorful.
He's very colorful today. But we're always complimentary, and we never talk about it. So it's going to be a busy day here at the Plaza for us as we prepare to minister to you not only tomorrow but New Year's Eve and get all those events. We're coming up on one of our fasting seasons leading into the new year. We'd like to invite you to join us if you have never fasted before. Your Bible is pretty plain about the necessity for it. If there's a dimension of spiritual power and leverage, if I can use that word, with heaven, some things are only moved by prayer and fasting, and not just one time, but fasting as a part of your spiritual walk. So if you want to join us, we do have a teaching on fasting, why it's important, why you need to do it. I remember when we released that teaching, people who had never fasted, who did not believe in it, who had never tried it because they just didn't understand it, said that they actually, for the first time in their walk with God, actually fasted. It's not an impossibility. You can do it. Your body's used to being in charge, and you're simply going to tell your body no, maybe for the first time, as it relates to eating. We don't turn down our hunger. So it has become your body has gotten used to getting its way. And amazingly, you discover through this teaching the ways you can simply tell your hunger to behave. So we look forward to you joining us. And of course, we always saw our first fruits offering on New Year's Eve as it relates to the new year, impacting the new year, believing God for all of the blessings of first fruit in Proverbs and in the book of Exodus, just to name a few. So you want to join us in that context also. Pastor Nick, how you doing this morning?
Doing okay.
Doing all right?
Yes, sir.
So now that we both got our breath from running up the stairs and stuff, we can
we good.
start to talk like people that know what they're doing here.
A lot going on.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. I was talking to security on the way up, and We were talking about how the schools are sending kids home, contact tracing them, shutting down classes, but they're underreporting it.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It makes the decision to hold the kids out. Those of you that did, you were not afraid, you were wise. The pattern recognition, the loss of it, which you would call common sense back in the day, where you would connect events together.
Yeah.
Each time that we have put people back in groups, we've had an outbreak, and then to add icing to this particular cake, we've got Omicron. How you said Omicron?
Omicron.
Omicron.
I spelled it wrong. Omicron.
Yeah, Omicron. Added to this particular match. I understand New York had 21,000 new cases yesterday.
Record. A record for a single day.
And people just...
Yeah. They're shutting down Broadway shows.
Yes.
They're going back to restrictions.
Yes. All of the professional teams have been impacted.
Yep. Yeah. I don't know why they just didn't keep it real. I knew why they did it. They wanted the money.
It's money.
Just tell people, look, the vaccine is not a complete immunity.
Mm-hmm.
Keep your mask on.
Mm-hmm.
Maintain your distance.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, oh, you got vaccinated. Go live.
Well, you see people walking around with almost with their chest puffed out, like, I'm stronger than this thing.
Yeah.
But it's not a mosquito that you can see coming.
Yeah. Yep. And no amount of vitamins that you take can stop you from catching it.
No.
Vitamins can help you with it.
I got some friends that just believe that all they got to do is keep drinking their lemon tea and stuff, and they'll be fine.
Yeah. Yep.
Germs stopped responding to tea about 40 years ago.
Right. Yep. Somebody just said New Jersey had back-to-back 6,000 plus positive
Absolutely.
days.
2 in a row.
Yeah.
2 in a row. And it's not all Omicron. It's Delta, 2 variants, and Omicron in the mix.
Yep. Yeah. And
But we insist on congregating.
Yeah. I get fatigue. People are tired. They want to go back to quote-unquote normal. The feeling it and doing it are two different things.
Absolutely.
We want to go on vacation like everybody else and go out and live and be
Absolutely.
But it's just not, at this time, worth it.
I don't think there's enough concern for other people.
Yeah.
I was talking to someone the other day, and one of the businesses that I frequent, and got to talking about travel, and I said, well, I'm not getting on a plane. And their response was that I'm not living my life in fear. I've been on a plane a couple times, and if I catch it, I just catch it.
That's how people are thinking now.
But they're not thinking. This is not like catching a cold and you take you take some Halls and you lay down for a couple of days.
Yeah.
This thing can take your life.
Yeah, and then who you pass it to.
Yes.
That's
the amazing part.
Yeah.
Are you living in a bubble? Do you live around anyone that you care about?
Yeah.
Why would you want to be the person that brings that into your life?
Right. I think living in wise versus living in fear are just two totally separate.
Absolutely.
Two totally separate things.
Absolutely.
Now, if all we did was stay in the house and not did anything and never came, that's almost extreme living in fear versus being able to do what you got to do responsibly. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The necessities responsibly.
Yeah.
Clarify.
Some stuff is not necessary.
Some stuff aren't necessary.
What gets me is that we are. People think, well, I go to the grocery store. Okay, that's an exposure. And you've been fortunate and blessed so far that exposure has not caused a problem, you think. But you don't keep exposing yourself to multiple arenas with the idea that since I went here, I was okay, I can go here and be okay.
Yeah. I was actually talking about that somebody the other day. Like, they were like, well, church is not open and people go to the grocery store and so on, so. Oh, not church open. We're not doing in-person meetings. And I said, when I go to the grocery store, I don't talk to people. I go in there, get what I got to get, and I leave.
Go out, yeah.
It's.
I had a guy tell
don't
me
use that.
Yeah, I had a guy tell me the other day that we needed to open it up because he needed to come to church. And I'm like, you need to watch us online.
Yeah, right.
Because you're not going to be responsible
Yep.
for the decision that people come and something happens. Is that a lack of faith? No, it's wisdom.
Yep.
We're in a situation where people spread this thing.
Yeah.
And you can't depend on the integrity of people to be honest about how they're feeling.
Absolutely. If they're sending their kids back to school with COVID, I know somebody, they said, person knew they were exposed around somebody that had COVID.
Yeah.
Went over a family member's house, passed it on to the family member. People, you can't expect people to be responsible.
No, they're not being responsible because I'm all right has become the standard password to go do what I want to do.
Yep.
And it really is to heck with the consequences until they won't know they caught it from me if they do.
Right.
You know, so it's poor. Yeah. It's a lack of maturity and a lack of concern for other people.
Yeah. And I know some places that they do all the protocols. They follow everything. People vaccinated in there.
Still got
and
it.
Guess what? It still broke out.
That's right.
It's
a numbers game. If you just keep exposing yourself and keep exposing yourself with this sense of invincibility, and being people of faith who have the Holy Ghost, who have the Word of God, who understand faith, you still have to practice caution.
Yeah.
I say the biblical example again. You do not read of anyone from Israel during the night that the plague passed through, the death angel passed through, talking about, I'm trusting God and going outside. Right. Trust him to be wise.
Right. And our whole thing is we don't want to open up and in 2 weeks have to close, open up again, have to close again a month later. And
but it feels like they're getting ready to be forced to shut stuff down again. Because this Omicron it's blowing up all over the country at the same time.
Yeah. If they're closing colleges, Cornell, NYU
closed?
NYU is closing after the winter break.
Okay.
And the kids have to go remote for a while.
Okay.
They may open up again in spring, but for right now, they're sending kids back remote.
Well, you have to.
Cornell just had a big outbreak, and a couple other schools are shutting down.
I'm not surprised. But I think that I remember when we did that tape, I did that tape a while ago just to explain to our people.
Yeah.
What our thinking was, and the number of phone calls that I received blew past the rationales that people have.
Yeah.
I know that if I say, okay, you all, let's come to church, we're going to get some people in here. But I also know that the consequence of that decision. Now, at this point, Pastor Nick, I know upwards of 35 or 40 bishops that have died from COVID. And all of them, I believe, without exception, insisted on gatherings. But I also know churches locally that have been shut down, where the entire congregation, however many people they had, 2/3, 3/4, 90% of the congregation came down with COVID. But I noticed they're back in operation without any restraints.
Yeah. People are just like, look, it's going to happen. We might catch it. Let's just keep moving forward.
So let me ask you, you were talking to me about the age mindset, and that there's a part of our culture now that doesn't believe they're going to live long past 25.
Yeah, yeah.
Has that fatalistic mindset now entered people? Let's talk about saved folk. Saved folk to where if I just get it, I get it.
Yeah, they're like, well, if I get it, I get it. I'm vaccinated. Hopefully it won't be bad. I got to live.
Isn't that a little too much chance?
I think so. Okay. I got to live. I got to do my thing. I got to be.
Can't you do it later?
Yeah. I mean, and trust me, we get the
fatigue.
Social aspect and fatigue.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're human beings. We're created for community, being with each other.
Right.
I just think that we could do it responsibly. And again, being in a building like church for an hour and a half, 2 hours, it's different than going into Rite Aid for 5 minutes.
Yes, sir. It's like flying in a plane to me.
Yeah,
you're breathing the same air other people are breathing for 2, 3, 4 hours at a time.
Yeah.
That's exposure.
Right.
And that's just common sense. And if you think that a mask makes you invulnerable, you are under the wrong impression. Just like the vaccine doesn't make you invulnerable. You still have to practice wisdom as it relates to COVID protocols.
Yep. And I think when the CDC said, all right, y'all, no masks, no more.
It was dumb.
It was dumb.
It was just dumb. Call it dumb. It was dumb.
It was dumb. It spiraled us right down, and
It was, these, you don't need them now.
Mm-hmm.
Did COVID like send a message to somebody and say, you
Right.
guys will be okay?
right.
No, it didn't.
Yeah.
So it's we need to. Here's the thing. So say, for instance, you've been living 30 years, or 40 years, or 50 years.
Mhm.
Why does it appear to so many people that these last 18 months spelled the end of their lives?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why are we pursuing things that we have 30 years of experience doing, 40, 50, 60, 70 years of experience doing, and we can't take 2 years, compare that to the 40 years you've been living?
Yeah.
Is 2 years of trying to guard your life
Yeah.
a sacrifice versus 40 years of living recklessly?
I've learned, and I'm learning more and more,
Yeah.
when people are offended and when people are in their feelings, they have their critical thinking and rationale and the big picture go completely out.
Okay, out the window.
You
Yeah.
see what you want to see and filter
Yeah.
everything through.
Well, you have
through
to.
that. It's just
You have to give yourself a nail to hang your hat on.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you got to give. You got to. I got to hammer my own nail in,
Yeah.
and then my hat. I got to.
Yep. Yeah.
This will do it for me.
Yeah, and people and we know folk just getting COVID now been straight for 2 years, almost 2
Absolutely,
years,
absolutely.
just catching it now
And
thought it
they
never would happen
actually,
to them.
they actually thought it ain't gonna happen to me.
Never would happen.
My problem is with the number of people that we've had to minister to, pray for, and seen family members of our members pass away. Why do you want to take a chance on ending up in ICU fighting for your life?
Yeah,
Why does it take that to have the revelation?
yeah.
Is it possible for me to get the shot now?
Yep, I know.
You know.
I know. And then the medical bills on top of it
Yes, sir.
are astronomical.
I heard that.
Astronomical.
So, is there some glitch in the in what these health plans will pay for, or is it the hypercare that they're not paying for?
Well, it's the hype. It's the especially if they go on the ventilators and all that stuff. Those,
your stuff ain't covering that.
yeah, just stuff. Some of it's not covered. It's not maybe not covered, or part of it's only covered. And then if people don't have insurance at all, I mean, I know the one guy, he was in the hospital for almost a month. His bill was over $1 million. $1 million.
For 30 days in the hospital.
Yeah. Now, I mean, I'm assuming people are thinking, well, majority of people don't go to the hospital. Majority don't die. So it'll be like something bad flu, I'll move on. But the amount of people that still have the long COVID where they can't taste and smell over a year and some change still can.
Yeah.
I was reading some of these ladies are
Therapy for liver, kidney, heart,
all that stuff are
Yeah.
still there.
Yes, sir.
Can't breathe right.
I know a guy that was in the hospital for over 2 months who still is having therapy for his heart.
Yeah.
And he had it last February.
Yep. And that's the thing, you just don't know. Like the girl, I was reading about one lady, she still can't taste or smell after a year and some change. Everything smells like sewage. The stuff that she tastes like garbage. So if she has to take it day by day, she'll go a whole day and not eat because the scent of food disgusts her.
Yeah, that whole problem.
So she's in therapy for food therapy and the psychological part. And I mean, it's.
Yeah. And
I
I think the psychology of it for many people, the fear of getting the vaccine, according to the people that I know personally, will only be compounded when many people get COVID because it brings up every fear you've ever had.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, because most people, I don't think, Pastor Nick, and we're going to Danny and Tom in just a moment, don't understand there are two aspects to this COVID vaccine, the virus. The virus is both natural and spiritual. There's a spiritual impact that many people don't talk about.
Yep.
I know strong people in the Lord who said they didn't know how to pray while they were sick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Didn't know. Knew I needed to call on Jesus, one guy told me, and I couldn't do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I knew somebody just constant hallucinations just the whole time. Just didn't know what was real, what wasn't real, and just.
Why would you want to subject yourself to that?
Yeah.
When you could prevent it. Let's go to Danny. Lines are lighting up. Good morning, Danny. How you doing?
Good morning, Bishop, Pastor Nick, staff. How you all doing today?
Excuse us for getting involved in that intense discussion there.
No, you as usual, you are right on point. That was one of the reasons that I wanted to talk with you today is that things that you are saying is very true. And you forewarned about this months ago, that we do not need to come together.
Yep.
And when I look and I turn on my TV, I see sporting events where there's crowds of people, and it's no by happen chance or some coincidence that all of these sports teams, they hardly can't play a game because so many of the players can't participate because of COVID.
Yep. It's amazing. I don't know where the it's almost like who's driving the bus, Danny. You know, how many times does this same pattern have to produce the same results before we get it? I did a series called "What Did You Think Was Going to Happen?" And you see 60,000 people at a college football game, not a mask in sight.
Correct.
Guys on the field exchanging sweat, breathing and snorting all over each other, tackling each other. And you actually thought COVID was going to just let you have a game? It doesn't make any sense. I'm not a scientist, but that doesn't make any sense to me.
And I always go back to maybe a year and a half ago when we had the Super Bowl here in South Florida. They knew then, 2 months ahead, that this was a problem, but they did not try to cancel or tone it down or put restrictions, and that spread right there all over.
All over the nation. All over the nation.
You had people coming in from different parts of the world to attend the game and what have you, and that was the problem.
And I remember seeing photographs of the streets of Miami and how the clubs and restaurants were so packed that the people were standing out on the sidewalks. This thing is passed through human contact. What is the? I'm still just amazed that we are not recognizing the very thing that we're doing is causing us to have a longer bout with this thing unsuccessful.
Down south, they act like COVID doesn't exist. They never really shut down. The north is the only place that really shut down in California. The south, from the beginning of COVID, they never went on restrictions like that.
So what's happening now?
They had mass stuff. Well, that's why they have so many deaths and high rates down there.
Okay.
But you talk to people living down there.
That didn't jog their minds?
They're like, let's keep on living. And the highest rates of death and sickness are in Trump countries. What they call Trump country, those states down there.
Okay.
But you go to Atlanta, even among black people, they're like, whatever, just...
It's unfortunate. It shows no heart for not. I'm not so much. I mean, those kind of statements can give an indication that you don't think much of your own future because you're not thinking past tomorrow. Go ahead, Dan.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but in our state, the governor does more to talk people out of wearing a mask.
I see that.
Than to wear a mask.
I see that.
It's sad. It's really sad.
So the number of deaths, and I know your state's underreporting it. We know that they're not reporting at all. And I also now see that since they made the decision to send the kids back to school, there's non-reporting and underreporting as it relates to what's happening with the children.
Exactly.
They're like, if they're exposed to COVID, let them come back in the classroom as long as they don't have it. It's like, again, it's full steam ahead. Let's just keep going. There's no consideration of casualties.
Well, here's it's about money. Because if you don't have class, you don't get the state money. That's just as plain as it is.
What it is, yeah.
So, they've decided to gamble with the children. And the parents, some of them, who don't want or can't school the children at home, are sending them into it and just hoping that nothing happens.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we're seeing it now. The economy that they were trying to stimulate by sending people back together is now being negatively exerted upon by this latest outbreak. They're shutting stuff down, closing stuff down, teams. I mean, all this stuff has a ripple effect, and we just don't seem to comprehend it.
Yeah.
And a strange thing that's happening here, I don't know, in your area, is that a lot of businesses that are like drive-through fast food, they're going strictly to drive-through due to the fact that they're saying that they don't have enough staff.
Well, I tried to go through Arby's the other day, and I parked, put my mask and everything on, did my hand thing up, and went to go in the door, and it was locked. And then I read the sign. Everything is drive-through.
Yep.
And one more statement is that Pastor Nick was right on it when he mentioned the fact that even with insurance, people that have to go into the hospital, they're having difficulty paying their bills. They're in a state of shock because they thought they were covered 100%.
So you go in, I got benefits, and then they start adding stuff up.
I'm telling you. And some of the hospitals they found are, of course,
they
overcharging.
Oh,
people.
yes, sir. Oh, yes, sir.
Somebody in one of the states, they found they were looking into something and found they were upping the stuff by like 50%.
Of course.
20%, 30%.
Of course. They're making money.
Oh, yeah. And
how are they going to pay for the overtime?
Yep, yeah.
That's a simple equation. How do you pay for the overtime?
Yeah.
How do you pay for bringing nurses and doctors in from other states? You got to pay them a premium to do it.
And if I'm correct, now help me out here. If you cost the insurance company a lot of money because you're sick a lot, they're going to start charging you more.
Well, they're going to raise your rates.
They're going to raise your rates.
Oh, yeah. Or kick you out.
Or kick you out.
Yeah.
So you got this high bill. They're going to raise your rates, or they're going to kick you off. Insurance is a hustle in general.
Well,
but I mean it's a challenge. So
I think it's amazing that you can survive COVID, survive. For this, I think what's required for COVID was not anticipated by health providers, healthcare providers. So they don't think most people are going to need respirators, and don't think most people are going to need intubation, and don't think the amount of drugs and IVs and intravenous feeding and all that goes on, and the constant care of moving people or beating their backs every 10 minutes if they have COVID and it's settled in their chest. It just, the extra manpower and resources that it takes to do it, of course they're not passing it on to the insurance company.
No.
They're passing it on to the insured.
Absolutely.
There was an interview with the COVID patient that was in the hospital for, I think, 3 months. And they asked him, he said, how do you feel with what's on your mind and what have you? He said, and he was one that did not believe in the vaccination.
Okay.
He said, my regret is that I did not get the shot, and the medicine and the ventilator that I was on could have saved someone's life.
Wow.
And there are people that are still getting out of the hospital and they're asking them, are you going to get the vaccine? And they say no.
Why?
Their whole thing is we don't know what's in it out. It's that whole...
They don't know what's in the orange soda they're drinking.
Thank you. And they don't even know what's in the stuff that's keeping them alive in the hospital.
And for anybody that's 40 years old or more, maybe even younger than that, how many vaccines have you had?
Right, yeah.
And all of a sudden you're getting particular?
Right.
Come on. Thank you, Danny, man. Tell my sister I said hello.
Thank you so much.
Talk to you. 866-743-8267. We're going right to Tom and then to Robin. 866-743-8267, 866-743-8267. This is On Point, the #1 Saturday morning Christian-based call-in talk show in America. Live every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. on any smart device at David G. Evans 1. Share with somebody. Like us if you're on the right side. Subscribe to us, of course. Hit that notification bell so you'll know when we're on and you can join us for these great, great conversations. Tom!
Good morning, Bishop.
Let me hear your voice, man. Let me hear your voice.
Hey, I'm getting there. I'm there.
All right.
Bishop, we keep talking about this virus like it's a Democratic or a Republican thing.
It ain't.
And the reason I'm bringing that up, this past week, Secretary of Defense went over to the Philippines.
Okay.
And again, my crazy state, one of the senators, Marco Rubio, made fun of him because he had a mask and a shield on.
Made fun?
And the reason I'm bringing this up is two reasons. One is another one of my guys from our state's acting like a nut, making fun of it. But what he didn't realize, and the newscaster had to tell him, in the Philippines, Secretary of State, our Secretary of Defense wasn't looking foolish. It was law in the Philippines you wear in public.
Okay.
Both a face mask and a shield.
Okay.
And,
but Rubio,
and the point,
why do you guys have so many of these type of people running your state? I need to know this.
I'm thinking about leaving the state. I don't know. Both senators. Our crazy governor, who is still, again, a poll came out this past week. He's leading. If Trump doesn't run, he's looking for that spot as being, number one on the ticket.
Well, man, he's leading among whom, though?
Guys like Christie.
Okay.
No, it's nobody in the field.
Not a majority.
Yeah. The other thing was, Bishop, what do you think about these texts that came out this past week?
I think they are significant. I think they are the worst possible thing for some of these Republican politicians to have to face. I think that what they've been denying is now being refuted by evidence that I think they're all going to have a problem trying to negotiate their way around. And I think the right person is the one reading the text, which is Ms. Cheney. I just believe they did not, at the time, their zeal did not give them wisdom to understand that these things could ever be researched, brought out. And I think it's a problem for them. And I think it opened up a can of worms. You can't have a problem with Mrs. Clinton's emails and the validity of them to prove something you want to prove, and now say that these emails mean absolutely nothing.
Did you see where one of the worst one came from? They wouldn't announce the person where the mastermind is. It appears that they don't know if he was the author, but it came from Rick Perry's phone, ex-governor of Texas.
I'm not surprised who was involved at this point, because years ago I was a little surprised, but I lost my amazement when, how can I say this? When people are driven by anger, angst, and a feeling of being left out, and they have power or have had power, they are willing to do and say anything to prove their point. Mm-hmm. I said it yesterday in a conversation. The Democrats think they're in a prize fight. They are in the ring with street fighters. Street fighters don't have rules. We need to understand that these things, they cannot be ignored. And it doesn't look like they're going to be ignored. But I'm waiting to see if the Justice Department steps in.
That was the big thing, that they haven't done anything yet, the Justice Department.
You know what I always say, John? You know what I always say?
Yeah,
when the government's quiet,
that
means they're working.
Yeah. And I I'm not crazy about Mitch McConnell, but you hear what he's saying the last couple of days.
Man, look, what color suit did he have on? He changes colors with the environment, man. Come on.
Yes, he does. Yeah, but for him to finally say, we need to sit back, wait, and watch, I think, that's a big statement coming from them.
Do you think that's because of the evidence that they are now aware that exists?
Oh, yeah. If there was no evidence, he would be on the other side of the fence.
What do you think, Pastor Nick?
Repeat. I was commenting to somebody real quick because I kind of missed the initial.
What Tom is asking about the validity and the weight of the text messages that are being read now.
Oh, for the January 6th thing?
Yeah.
I part of me is like skeptical because are they just going to let this pass by?
Okay.
Because like they normally do, just fight through it, move on. Because they're only looking to please a certain person in a certain crowd.
Okay. And
they're like kind of the heck with everybody else.
Okay.
But it just shows me they knew they were wrong.
Oh yeah.
And they knew Trump was wrong.
Yes.
Even if his own son Don Jr., who's the greatest cheerleader, came out and said, "Yo, we need to get this thing together,"
And the newscasters from Fox.
Yeah, Fox and all them saying the same thing, and then Meadows.
You're
and all
ruining
that.
your legacy or something?
Yeah.
What legacy? Okay, I'm sorry.
In
I
their
digress.
minds. In their minds. But it's not. It goes to show again that the Justice Department really needs to go after Trump. And I believe Trump just lost the case.
He did.
About stuff being
He did.
hidden.
He did.
He did. I think that's why he's clamoring and fighting so hard.
And
to
his
get those
accountant's
people in place.
testifying too.
Yeah.
Which we knew he was going to.
Yeah.
That man's too old to go to jail.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But
it goes to show again, their followers are not going to look at these text messages and say, "Hey, they've been lying to us this whole time." Mm-hmm. They're going to keep watching them, and because they're so offended, they'll bypass this.
Yeah.
And stick with.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, they've been overing things.
Yeah.
The entire time. Mm-hmm. What are you saying, Tom?
But part of that, from what I read and see, that's part of Trump's game plan all the time, to divert, then have you wait, divert, wait, and just keep pushing the issue down till he gets what he wants.
Yep. We call it kicking the can down the road, per se.
Yeah.
He's looking to get reelected in 2024, and he'll work it all out.
All his problems
will go away,
office, hopefully.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. So, Tom, you feeling better, man?
Oh, I feel great.
Okay.
I just wish I was up there with you guys.
I feel for all my friends in Florida, man. I don't understand the sanity of your governor.
Yeah, even the Apple stores are closing down.
Yeah.
Even though it's Christmas week, because
what are they going to do, man? You can't and those stores are usually packed.
Yep.
It's Christmas week. I don't, it's almost insane, but I think people at Apple are actually, using their brain with this one.
Yeah, sounds like it. Man, thanks for calling us again.
Hey, take care.
Talk to you soon.
Happy holidays.
You too.
Merry Christmas.
You too. Bye-bye. We got Robin from Delaware, and we got Gail from Delaware. Delaware's in the house. Good morning, Robin.
Morning.
Good morning, Bishop.
How you doing?
How are you?
All right.
Good.
What's your comment today?
First of all, do I sound like I have a different type of voice?
Like you're nasal?
With me. Now I sound like a white woman.
No. No, you don't.
know I'm a getter.
Who said that?
Who said that to you?
You sound like you've been doing a lot of talking, that's all.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Okay, I'm going to get y'all.
It's early in the morning. You're still waking up. It's still,
that's your morning
I know,
voice.
right past the day.
Yeah, you got the Joey Heatherton work.
What you say, Bishop?
I said you got your Joey Heatherton voice working this morning.
Oh, okay. But first, Bishop, y'all been messing with me, right? So, but I want to first
us.
Yes, you have.
Us, Robin.
Yes, you have.
Never.
But it's okay. That's why I love you.
I can't believe you would accuse us of this.
I want to apologize to you, Bishop.
For what?
I was in New Jersey, and I forgot to bring my autograph to you.
Oh, I'm devastated. I'm devastated. I don't have your autograph.
How are you going to go on?
I don't know how I'm going to go on for the. I'm canceling the rest of the day.
Right.
Oh, wow. Oh, I can't let you do that. See, y'all giving me this sense of humor. But what y'all was talking about, the virus and everything, my son got vaccinated finally, and he called me 2 days ago. He must have called it from in the store, but he was tested positive. He had all the symptoms, but he went to the ER. But he's good. He's better.
Okay.
But I'm glad he got vaccinated.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he got vaccinated. But there's people in the store don't wear a mask. They be coughing, no mask.
It's terrible.
It's like, I don't get it. I don't get it. But regarding the football players, 20 players.
It's been going up too. It's more.
Wow.
On the Eagles?
No, just in the NFL in general. They had to move.
No. 100
Yes, it's more than
60.
It's more than it's a lot.
Yeah, it's going up every day. But it was 160 as of about 12 o'clock last night.
Yeah, they moved 3 games
Even
already.
the game's been moved.
And there's only 600 players?
I don't remember how many. I don't know.
I think there's 600 and some players.
It was 32 teams. There are 53 on the active roster. So whatever that math is.
Whatever it is.
I need the calculator.
Yeah.
But these last 2 things I have, I'm getting off.
Okay.
What's the issue between, I was reading it, I didn't read all of it, Russia and Ukraine? Will that affect our military? And the last thing is, what is the best Christmas song? Pastor Nick know why I'm asking this. He said Mariah Carey. I think Temptation's Silent Night is the favorite Christmas song.
You think so?
Yep.
So you got Temptation and Mariah Carey.
No, mine is Mariah Carey. All of them.
Yeah. I'm saying, yours is Mariah Carey.
That's my favorite one.
Okay. Both of you are apparently uninitiated in what good music is, but we will just.
I thought you would like the Temptations version.
I do, but I think Hathaway's version is better.
But
I also think Nat Cole's is the down and out.
Oh no,
is it?
This is too plain.
No, it's good. He's got a great voice. He's got a wonderful voice. I'm gonna give it to him.
His treatment is amazing.
It is. But you don't like Christmas music like that either.
I don't like it. I don't like Christmas music. So, but if I had to choose a song, it would be Donny Hathaway's. Yeah.
You know why they play it a lot?
Phenomenal singer.
Oh, Donny Hathaway.
Phenomenal singer.
What's that song he sings?
All of them. He could sing whatever he wanted to and kill you with it. Anyway, Robin, what else? I got to go to Gail. What you doing? You have another sister from Delaware.
Song for you. I did my part. I said the Russia and Ukraine.
Okay.
I just want to know if it's going to affect our military. That's
hopefully not. The United Nations is trying to exert all the pressure that they can. Because the U.S. does not want to get involved that way. But I believe the economic sanctions and them not being able to exchange currency and all that will get their attention faster than some type of military strike.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, and y'all have a blessed
Absolutely.
day. If I don't talk to you,
stay safe.
Have a blessed, safe Christmas.
You too. Stay safe today.
See you.
I will.
Bye-bye. Right. Good morning, Gail. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good this morning.
Welcome to On Point.
All right. How are you today?
We're doing fine. What's your comment today?
Good. We're talking about the virus. And my sister cousin, she told me this week she's been very sick for weeks.
Yeah.
And she finally told me that she has COVID.
Okay.
And I was surprised. I asked her, did she get it from her job? And she said, no, I got it from Elder Deaver, her husband. He's a teacher in Newark.
Okay.
So he picked that up from
school.
Some of the kids in the school.
Yeah.
And he brought it home.
Wow.
And she said, well, you know what? I didn't want to tell you. I didn't want you worrying about me. But I was like, wait a minute. I could have been praying for you.
Yeah.
But she said, thank God we did have our shots because it could have been, worse than it is.
Yeah.
So
it's a very serious illness. Yeah. It's very serious.
Serious. Now I'm a newbie here in Delaware.
Are you?
It's only been, I'm going on my third week.
Okay.
And these people around here, they don't wear masks.
Yeah. It's like that in a lot of places.
I was in BJ's. Maybe 3 people.
Yeah.
With masks.
And it's almost like they're walking around with some new sense of independence. And this may be, and you can help me with this, Gil. I think that if wearing a mask infringes on your constitutional rights, I don't think you have much of a life.
Yeah.
No, but I found a drugstore. I signed up for my booster shot.
Absolutely.
These people here are crazy.
Where did you live previous to Delaware?
I lived in North Jersey in Union.
Okay. Very familiar with Union.
Yeah, so I'm down here now, but I'm very leery about these people.
Well, I tell you, it's a nonchalant, as my mother used to say, nonchalant attitude regarding something that is extraordinarily serious.
Yeah.
One thing, they're very nice, but everybody wants to speak to you. You don't have no mask on.
Yeah.
Hey, just wave at me. Hey, God.
And North Jersey has been kind of a hot spot too, because New York and North Jersey generally have comparative environments and levels of sickness, because people work in New York, live in New Jersey, and so
very true.
So to me, if they're talking about there's an intense problem in New York right now, there is a problem in North Jersey that they're not telling us about yet.
Yeah, but there's more people wearing masks than down here in Delaware.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, you can't go in the store without a mask.
Well, I think that needs to be. It's unfortunate that we're in a time period in life that you have to legislate care.
Yep.
That, you know, I got to tell you to wear a mask when you know the way people are catching this thing is because they don't have a mask, they're not washing their hands, they're hanging out in crowds. You know, it's
just unsanitary.
Yeah, and they say this Omicron is, they say with the other Deltas and all, it takes a few minutes. They say with this one, this just a matter of exchanging air or touches, and you've got it.
Yeah.
I only go out if I have to go out.
Yeah.
And they say keep your nose covered.
Yeah, don't wear your mask under your nose.
Yeah, keep your nose covered.
And I want to talk about kick the can, Bishop.
Who?
When you were talking about the president, you was like he's kicking the can.
Oh, kicking the can.
Oh, not the the former president wants to kick the can down the road. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you remember that game we were growing up, kick the can.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. But the slogan is kick it down the road now. That means just keep avoiding it, keep wasting time, taking up time, and then finally, hopefully, it'll go away. But,
yeah. And the last thing is Donny Hathaway.
Yeah.
He's the man.
Absolute great singer.
Yeah. A song for you.
A song for you.
That is one of my favorite songs that he
It's one
sings.
of the best songs of all time.
He goes with that song, man. Lord have mercy.
Sorry, Nick.
It's okay.
Thank you for calling us, Gail.
Yes. God bless you both, and have a great holiday.
You too. Call us again now.
All right now.
Bye-bye. 866-743-8267, 866-743-8267. Give us a call.
Can I say something? Just for some people in the comments, some other people saying stuff. People, we've been kind of skirting around, talking about it. People feel like, well, it's going to be here. Let's just open up and do stuff because it's going to be here for a long time. I think there's a difference between this is going to be with us for a while, and you have 1,000 people dying a day, versus this is going to be here with us, and you're having 20 to 30 people.
Yep.
The regular common flu, we experience death from that.
Yep. There's a difference.
To me, when it's at its height, it's not the ideal. I think once the numbers really go down, then we can start kind of significantly.
Here's the other thing. And this is just a reality. I hear from people every day advising me what to do, but they're not responsible for the decision.
Absolutely. If something happens, they're not going to be the one.
There'll be silence.
Yep.
I didn't think.
Yeah.
But it's easy to inspire someone to do something, and you have no flesh in the game.
Absolutely. And be real here, the COVID has affected the minority community greater than any other community. So ours is different than what other people are doing. I mean, it's the reality of the situation.
We have to have more precaution, and we have to do what's right for the folk.
Yeah.
So the rationales of I find it extraordinarily easy to give you advice to do something, and your decision has no consequence.
Yeah.
In my life at all.
Absolutely.
So.
When the chips fall, I'll pray for you.
Yeah. No.
Like no.
And if perhaps. If the people that are saying, well, this rationale, that rationale, you have not had to counsel, pray with, talk to the families of family members who have passed away from COVID, just from COVID.
Yep.
Just from COVID. You try talking to one individual who lost 5 relatives in 30 days.
Yep.
Try talking to an individual who lost 2 relatives in the same day, in the same hospital, on the same floor, an hour apart to COVID. Try talking to them about it.
Yep.
See if you think it's casual. Let's just live our lives. No, there's a lot more going on out here than a lot of us are willing to admit.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
We got Georgiana from Willingboro. We've got Reva from Orange, New Jersey. That's the second Reva, maybe the third, that I've ever talked to. Georgiana.
Hi.
How you doing?
Hey, G.
I'm good. How are you?
Great talking to you.
I missed y'all.
Yeah, girl.
Yeah. Anyway, I want to let them know this COVID thing is real. I had to retire early because of COVID. I didn't have it, But, I stepped out there on faith because I didn't want to get it because, I'm a kidney cancer survivor with one kidney.
Yeah.
So it didn't make sense me going to work and doing, being good for everybody else, and then I end up in the refrigerator truck with no name. So I just step out on this thing on faith. And it has not been easy.
Yes.
So with that said, so now I'm faced with the medical insurance, with the, the state medical insurance because I had to retire early, higher copays. But God is able, and He has been keeping me. And I just want people to know that. They need to step out on faith. They need to wear their mask. They need to do what they need to do to get rid of this thing.
I think our behavior has been perpetuating the spread of this for the last 18 months, and we won't connect our behavior to the problem that we're having.
Yep. We won't. And I'm so happy that you guys are on church, online. I'm on there, and I'm just happy. So until we get back into church, that's what I'm going to have to do.
And believe me, Georgiana, no one wants to be back in corporate worship more than myself and Pastor Nick. That I know. It's just, and I'm not just saying it because it's our church, but it's something different about this place, which is why we miss it so much.
And when I look at the skits, when I look at the empty sanctuary, I get chills because I just picture it full of people.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just empty and it's hollow, and I just miss it. I miss altar call. I miss serving y'all.
Yeah.
I miss all of it. But I just got to wait. And I'm grateful that you've taken the time to, before you open up the church, because I heard you say one person sick is too many.
That's right. That's right. And we're not gambling with anybody's family member's life. Not a one.
And another thing I want to say is, I do couponing, and so when people were out there spending all this money, and they were getting all these stimulus checks, I put it out on Facebook. If you have a kid with like a lot of kids, you get $4,000 or $5,000. Take $1,000, buy yourself a freezer, stock up your stuff. Then you won't be out there. But everybody's in the line, in the hair salon, in the restaurant,
buying TV.
They're not being wise with what God's given you.
It would make no sense to come through this with the amount of money that I hear people are getting,
thousands,
and have no money when this thing stops.
Yep.
Thousands.
They going spending up, living it up.
Shouldn't be getting bill collector payments and all. I know of a lady yesterday I talked to that during this time she was able to clear up her bankruptcy and invest in properties and all this other stuff, and she's coming out better because she didn't use the money to go on trips.
Yep. Save most of it, put it away.
Yeah, put it away. Even retirement. Like I have more now than I had when I was working.
Absolutely,
I'm
George.
able to do more for people now than when I was working.
Absolutely, but that's why that's why God is blessing you.
Positive, but a lot of it, was negative. A lot of it was positive, and I know God is working out the negative.
The Lord gives to us to establish His covenant in the earth. Thank you, George.
Yes.
See you later.
Hope to see you soon. Bye. Our last call today. We got 3 minutes. Reva.
Hello.
Hi. How are you? Welcome to OnPointe.
Hi.
Turn your radio down in the background. I think you might be listening to an echo.
How are you? Welcome to OnPointe.
Yeah. I'm just hearing myself.
Turn your radio down in the background. I think you might be listening to an echo.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got it?
Is that better?
Absolutely. How's things in Orange, New Jersey?
It's all right. Well, actually, I'm in East Orange, but I'm from Orange.
Yes, ma'am.
But it's okay. We got little hikes here too with the COVID, you know. But what I'm not understanding is people they're not listening, and the people who supposed to know what's going on and supposed to be the doctors and the scientists, they're stupid. I hate to say that, Bishop and Pastor Nick, but they are. Don't they see?
There's other motivations, obviously, other than common sense.
Yeah.
It just don't make no sense. Every time they open up and get extravagant, this is what happens.
Every time.
And when this variant, whatever it's called, or whatever came, they should have shut stuff down. They should have never told people they didn't have to wear their mask.
Yep.
That's right. I agree with you.
Many people and you got some people that's ignorant and just don't want to wear a mask. They don't want to wear one.
For what reason, though?
I don't know.
I mean, if 700,000 or 800,000 Americans dead from this thing is not enough evidence to convince you that there's some caution that needs to be exercised, I don't know what else to say.
Yeah. But they always think it's not going to happen to me. It's them. I got to live.
I bet you 6 of those 700,000 thought it wasn't going to happen to them either.
They're all like, well, I never thought this happened to me. And
but I'm going to tell you something, Bishop. I still haven't been vaccinated because I'm scared. Remember I told you.
Yeah.
On Facebook, I'm misty.
Yeah. Okay, yes.
I got some issues with it. I'm just not there yet. And me and my daughter, I'm just praying for her and me and her, but she goes and gets tested because her job is making them get tested every week. So
can I make a suggestion to you, Reva?
What?
Do you have a dermatologist that you go to?
Yes.
You can go to your dermatologist and he or she can test you for your sensitivity to the ingredients in the vaccine.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can go to your dermatologist and they can test you for your sensitivity to those ingredients.
I'm gonna go. When I go, I'm gonna ask her. I just went.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask her.
And if you call them and tell them you need to be tested for that, they'll probably bring you right in.
Oh, now what is it called now?
It's just you know how they allergy test you.
Yeah. Okay.
They can do the same thing for the ingredients in the vaccine.
Okay, I'm going to try that. And Bishop, I need to speak with you, but not on the air.
Just call the church. I'll call you back.
Okay.
All right? Okay. You stay strong now.
Good day.
You too.
All right.
Now, don't forget, we were out of time. Don't forget, join us tomorrow, 8 a.m., 9:45, 11 a.m., 6 p.m., all day long for all those engagements with the Lord. Also, if you have a prayer request, send it to social@gotobethany.com. Subscribe to David G. Evans 1 and BBC of NJ. That's Bethany Baptist Church of New Jersey. Also, subscribe to DGEMS, DGEMS, and the OnPointe podcast platforms. Spend the day with us tomorrow. You will be blessed. We're so glad you joined us today. For Pastor Nicholas Smith, I'm Bishop David G. Evans. Remember, faith acts like a thing is so, even when it's not so, that it might be so. God bless you. See you next time on OnPointe.